Hi there, let's talk about Stillwater by Zdarsky. Stillwater by Zdarsky is a comic book series that he writes via Image. It follows the young man and his friend who go to a small town that they've never heard of because he's had a letter from a solicitor saying, yeah, you need to come to our law offices. He takes his mate along as a companion for the journey for a bit of a fun road trip. When they get there, they find the town's a little bit strange and some kid jumps off the roof of a building and kills himself. No one is bothered. He grabs the kid, takes him to the local doctor, and the kid gets up and runs away. Again, the doctor's not that bothered. Everyone's more concerned that they've seen this happen. They immediately get taken to the edge of town, his mate gets killed, and he gets told that he gets to stay alive because he's got relatives in town. It turns out his mother, who he thought was dead because he's an adopted kid, lives in the town. Now the thing is, you very quickly, and so this isn't a spoiler, this is sort of on the back of the book, find out that everyone in the town doesn't age. They also can't be killed, and you chop off a limb, it grows back, but all that kind of stuff. Very much like Wolverine to the extreme. Unless they go to the edge of town, which is where they would go to execute someone. And they're ruled over by this judge who has a sort of dictatorship now over the town, and he's got his gang of thugs that he has enforce it. Now, the story goes on, like, this is where I won't spoil any elements because that's really sort of first real stuff that gets set up. The story goes on to find that people aren't that happy with this rule. They've realised that being immortal is all well and good, but ultimately not that cool if you can't go anywhere or see anyone in the meantime. You're all stuck with each other, and people want change. He becomes part of that change. There is a storyline that goes on about how they try to cause that change to occur, and you get lots of character building in this. You get a flashback, almost an entire issue in the first trade volume of the story of how the town suddenly became, as it is, and there's no explanation given as to why. It's just the sort of how one day they find they can't die, and the decisions they make about their laws and how that's what was going to be temporary becomes permanent. And there are other plots at play as well. Other people have designs on the town too. Now, it's a good story. It's a kind that once you get past sort of the first issue, you're in. You have to get through a little bit of slog at the start, which I'm not saying it's slowly paced, but it was just I got it in a sale. I read it and I was like, okay, I don't know where this is going. And then I got into it, and then that was it. I was sold on it, and I whizzed through the digital trade I got. The trouble is, the trade ends at a very strange point to me. It felt like it was the middle of an issue that it ends at. And I wish there was a little bit more rounded off of that particular story arc, because it didn't even feel like there was an arc that had finished. It just felt like something had happened, and that was it. And it wasn't in the manner of a cliffhanger either, it was just that it ended. So that would be my negative on the book. The art's great in it. It's really good. The storytelling, from Zdarsky, it's really good. But I say that it was just the end of that trade. It kind of spoiled it for me. It soured it, because I'm not going to buy the single issues on this because I can't afford to, because there's other things I spend my money on. I'm going to wait on the second trade. Now, I don't know if this series has a limited number of issues, so I don't know if it's going to end at a certain point. I hope it has a planned ending. I don't want this to be something that just drags on and on and on. Maybe 12 issues will be a good way for it to resolve. At the most 16, but we'll see. I hope they just don't think it's going to be some ongoing series. But look, have a look at the book. Let me know what you think of it. It does come up in like the sales on Comixology, so get it when you can, or if you've got a discount code, use it. Please have a look at the website and the Instagram, and give us a like and a subscribe on the channel, and thanks for watching.